Good evening and welcome to the Business Suites of Brass Mill. This is Dr. Stacy Venable coming to you tonight with a wonderful guest. We're going to do some house cleaning rules and housekeeping rules first. First, this is our disclosure. This is just topics of conversation that have been brought to us, and we just wanted to share wealth of knowledge, our knowledge. We're not taking or embedding anyone else's belief or knowledge into what we are saying. We're just here having a wonderful conversation. So please, 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 by no means take this offensively. And if you do, we apologize in advance. But this is just two doctors just talking about things that have been brought to us, and we want to share with you, our viewers, tonight. So I am honored tonight to have my spiritual mother in the house, Dr.LaVaeda Coulter. She's coming to us. We know her as elder. She also works with the Business Suites of Brass Mill. She keeps us going. She keeps us on edge. She keeps us grounded. She keeps us balanced. And also she keeps us spiritually fed. So as I've already introduced her, I'm going to allow her to introduce herself. Welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Venable. Welcome to each and every one that is here. Again, I am Dr. LaVaeda Coulter. I got my doctorates at the Andersonville Theological Seminary in 2016. Prior to that, I've got my MDiv from the Samuel DeWitt Proctor School of Theology in Richmond, Virginia. And I've trained under the Reverend Dr. James E. Victor Jr. at my home church at Mount Olive Baptist Church in Arlington, Virginia.
That is super amazing. What accolades you have. And we also attend church together. We are at New Hope Baptist Church.
Yes, we are.
Now under the prominent Pastor Mark R. Nolan. And we want to send out some love to our New Hope family and to our pastor who also pastors us very well. But sometimes when you're in the house of the Lord, you need that one-on-one.
Yes.
And then I was so glad that God brought you to my way to be my one-on-one, because I'm a hot mess.
Yes, you are. But you know what? I just thank God. I mean, I'm really still trying to deal with the fact that He has given me a daughter.
Oh, wow.
You know, a daughter and a challenge, but a good challenge.
I've been a challenge. I've faced challenges. I've made it through different challenges. Within losing my mother 8 years ago, I thought that was the worst thing that could have happened to me in my life. Even though I was being prepared.
Yes.
8 years ago, it just seems like a lifetime ago.
Yes.
So when you lose that friend and that confidant and a mother, because she was all those things to me, you tend to kind of search out and search. It's a song say search all over.
Yeah.
Couldn't find nobody. So I'm searching all over, and I'm thinking to myself, you know what? That's okay, because my mother did teach me to be independent, and she taught me to do things on my own. So it was a blessing to have you come forth and be like, you know what? And this is not how the story went. I just want to out there in social media land and people here. This is not how that story went. Dr. Coulter used to always accost me at church about my shoes. And our love for each other grew from that forward. And it's a love that I missed and yearned for so much. Because as I began to walk into my purpose.
Yes.
And I had a calling over my life.
Yes.
And I didn't understand. For years, I knew, Dr. Coulter, that I had this calling.
Yes.
For years. I was too afraid.
Mm-hmm.
And some people out there today, they know what their purpose is, because the first thing within knowing your purpose, you know that you were created for a purpose.
Yes.
So we already know that within that creation, that's God created. Because He created each and every one of us in His like image. So we already know that part. But I think sometimes there's some people out there who are saying, I have a purpose. I know my purpose, but I have a past.
That is true. And, you know, even though you have a past, it still does not negate the fact that you have a purpose. And even though we have a purpose, a lot of people don't understand or know what their purpose is. And then when those who do know what it is, they don't know quite how to go about achieving that purpose. So it's one thing that you have to have someone in your life. Once you got that knowledge or understanding that God has put a calling on your life, you need to get with someone who is spiritually mature. That can help you with that. You mentioned the fact about, searching for a mother, what have you, and you just don't know when you call me mom and things like that, how it makes me feel. But the challenge in my prayer be, God, just please help me to lead and guide her to be a good mother, because I could never replace your mother.
Absolutely, yeah.
But still, I want to be a good influence, a good mother to you. as best as I can. I pray for you every day, daughter.
Thank you.
Every
Thank you.
day.
Prayer
And
does change
it
things.
does change
It puts a
things.
shift in the atmosphere, especially being out here in the world and being a
Yes.
woman, and now you get to see what I do business wise.
Yes.
She's here with me a lot of the time. She knows that I burn the midnight oil. She knows I don't sleep much. She knows I don't eat much. And it's great to have someone to come over and to remind you that your purpose is just not here in this building,
Right.
but your calling is so very important. And one of the things that people need to understand is there's a lot of things that go on throughout your day, but you cannot forget about the calling and your spiritual calling. So one of the topics we wanted to talk about tonight with you is, how do you know when you're spiritually walking in your purpose?
I think you know, and I'm gonna go back to something that you said right
Sure.
before that, talking about what working in here.
Yes.
You know, I was listening to on my internet last night, and it was talking about billionaires who actually have a love for Jesus.
Wow.
And they were giving testimony, as even though they're in the secular world, they have that love for Jesus. They do not let that secular world negate them from acknowledging who Jesus is in their lives. I mean, it was different ones, and it was just amazing to hear these entrepreneurs talking about, yes, I'm not ashamed to say that Jesus Christ is my Savior. And I give you one that most everyone knows, KFC, Colonel Sanders.
Yes.
He was 77 years old when he got saved.
Wow.
He was 65 when he started the business. Okay. And I said, wow, you're 65 and just starting into finding his purpose, understanding what his purpose was in helping people by way of the food industry. So ministry, as we've talked before, does not necessarily have to be done inside the church or in the four walls of the church.
Yes. And that's a misconception.
Yes, it is.
We need to talk about that. Can we stop and talk about that
yes,
for
we
just
can,
a moment? Because when I got my calling over my life, I believe you were there.
Yes.
And one of the things I wanted to do is I wanted to be in the pulpit.
Yes.
And a lot of people came to me and said, your ministry may not be in the pulpit. You may have to travel. You may be the next Joyce Myers. They always said that to me. And I kind of was like, well, no. Because I always thought, if you're going to preach, you need to be in a pulpit. But then as I've been studying with you, side by side with you, preparing myself to preach, which I have preached.
Yes.
And trust me, she was a strong teacher. I loved everything about it. I still sit under her and I still learn. I still yearn, even though she had me ready to preach. And I did do that various times. But you still don't want to disappoint your mother as she's sitting behind you in the pulpit. So I'm not too worried about the congregants at this moment. I'm worried about who's sitting behind me, which is great because it gave me the ability to make sure that I knew what I was doing was right.
Yes.
But I literally have, in the last 6 months, have been really thinking about, maybe that's not my direction.
Right.
That's the direction that we in the flesh want us to do. So how do we go about measuring that? Like,
well, see, that's where your relationship with God comes into place. He's the one that's calling you, not people. People will tell you, you've missed your calling. You should be doing this. You should be doing that. What does God say? He's the one who's calling you, and your pulpit can be anything.
Yes.
Wherever you stand flat-footed and delivering the word to people.
Yes.
Okay, so people, that is a misconception or misunderstanding.
Yes, it is.
Your pulpit has to be, in the church or whatever. But Jesus was on a hill.
Yes, he was.
Paul preached outside and inside.
Inside, yes.
Some people preach in gyms.
Yes.
Some in schoolrooms. Some in houses. Okay, so your pulpit is just wherever you stand to deliver the word of God, giving hope to people. Because even though people, they may understand that they have a purpose, but they also understand they have a past, what you said.
Yes.
But God has forgiven us, and God knows everything about your past, but it still does not stop him from calling you to do what he has planned for you to do, because he will take your past and shape it to his purpose.
I love that.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That was a nugget. Yeah. Can you say that again?
He will take your past and shape it to his purpose.
Wow. He will take your past and shape it. wow, to your purpose.
That's right.
So if you're sitting there and you're wayward like me, trying to teeter-totter, because when I went to her, I was like, I know, and a lot of people said, I know you're, but I had to experience what I had to have that one-on-one with God and asked him what he wanted from me.
Yes.
And a lot of people will tell you to go back and pray.
Yes.
And that happened to me.
Yes.
And I went back and prayed. But what it did to me, I'm going to tell you, it stagnated me, because it made me feel like, okay, I done went and told the proper people and they tell me to go back and pray. But I prayed before I went to that person.
Yes.
So I said, is this some type of protocol or something?
Yes.
Like what, like, and sometimes that will deter us new ministers into wanting to go further within what God created us to do. And then, even with that being said, I have had opportunities after that. And preparing yourself. It's hard, as you said, being out here in the secular world, right?
Yeah.
And then going into the spiritual world.
Right.
It's hard.
But you bring them together.
And there are
they
times, right? And I get that. And this is something that I want to talk about, because I know, matter of fact, someone inboxed me this just the other day. I won't call any names, but what they said was, the rejection that they felt when they went to go and want to be in the poor pit. And, the rejection from the saints that are sitting in the pews, but this young lady, she knew her purpose and she knew where she was supposed to be, and she didn't get that opportunity.
Yes.
She didn't get it.
But sometimes, even, daughter, understand this, God tests you.
Wow.
Okay, to see how you're going to react in certain situations. Okay, because what he has for you, and nobody can stop that. And always remember, he's going to open those doors that nobody can shut, and he's going to shut those doors that no man can open. So just keep your purpose in mind. Mm-hmm. Keep your faith and your trust in him. And even when things happen that you don't think should happen, ask him, how should I deal with this? God, is this your will for me? Because it's always about, like Jesus says, let your will be done, not mine. Okay.
I tell you, Dr. Coulter deals with me in a different kind of manner, because I get frustrated. And I get frustrated a lot. And she'll always say, go back and pray. Ask God for what you want. And I will promise you, 2.5 years ago, maybe even before, I'll say about 2.5 years ago, when I came to start the Business Suites of Brass Mill, was Formula Opulent. I asked God, I asked God to enlarge my territory. I never forget, I was sitting in my car one day and had just came back from Delaware, and I was so tired. I had worked all these hours, and I'm salary. So, I'm not getting, I can work 100 hours. I'm still getting the same pay, or I can work 2 hours and still get the same pay. And I was just so frustrated. And I was sitting in my car, and I said, God, if you have something for me, now would be the time. Please, Lord, enlarge my territory. And a week later, things started rolling. Mm-hmm. And even now, he just keeps enlarging my territory. And I think that comes from having that one-on-one personal relationship with him. When you're out here and you're an entrepreneur, know that you're not standing on your own feet.
Yes, that's right.
I had to embark that, because you've been here.
Yes.
You've seen people come.
Yes.
And you've seen people go.
That's right.
And through some of that, it was trials and tribulations through a lot of it. Yes. And you've been here, and I'm not going to say that some of the trials or tribulations didn't come from my own trustworthiness of people, but some of it was just downright unnecessary.
Some was ugly. And the thing.
So everybody out there that want to be an entrepreneur, no, it's not always cute. I mean, we come in cute. Yeah. We come in cute with our hair done, makeup on, clothes on. But no, behind the scenes of entrepreneurship, there is ugliness there.
Yes.
And it has been that way. And again, that's why I thank God for Dr. Coulter, who has aided me through it. Because I can tell you what it used to be, and how I would have used to reacted if it wasn't for you baby stepping me into the unconditional love that
Yes.
God had for me
Yes.
within business.
Yes.
This is about business.
Yes.
This is not about the pulpit at the
Right.
church.
Right.
This is about business. These ugly things happen in business.
But because you have that spiritual nature inside you, okay, so those spiritual warfare is going to come where you are. Now, oftentimes people are in business. That's the nature of the game. You're gonna lose some and you're gonna win some, and you're gonna have those trials and you're gonna have those tribulations. But understand, even out there, those trials and tribulations can be your spiritual warfare. Those who don't know Christ don't understand that.
Wow.
We who know Him do understand, and so that's how you know how to fight your battles.
And I thought, hey, I'm going to church. I'm being obedient. God has enlarged my territory.
That's right.
My walk is different. And sometimes, Doc, you got to give up going places that you used to go.
Yes.
Sometimes you got to give up people that you used to be with.
That's right.
Sometimes you got to give up everything.
Yes.
Everything to satisfy what God has for you and your purpose.
Right.
I have lost friends.
Yes.
People, then the people say, well, were they really friends?
Were they really friends?
Were they really friends?
Yes.
Last week we talked about Nia Duncan and I. She deals with mental health. We talked about just the jealousy in the business itself.
Yes. Especially women.
And then that's one of the things I don't get, because I have so much love and endurance and time, and I want to see us all win.
Yes.
But I had to stop and realize that that's not my place.
Mm-hmm.
That's not my place to want everybody can't come with me.
Right.
And we grew up in a house with 14 people, like off and on. So I thought, hey, you should give it to everybody. Right. But no, you shouldn't.
Now, in that house, you talking about that home?
I'm talking about in the way of the world, period.
Right.
Not again, it goes back to what you said. What God has for you, He has for you. Right. But you still are to serve His fellow people and His man.
So you keep serving them. And even those who were in your life for that reason or for that season, they were there for a purpose. So even if it was just one there that was to do something that you would learn from.
Right. I did learn a lot.
You learned a lot. And you have to have those adversities to grow. It's in the valley where you grow.
Yes.
In the valley where you have all those adversities, all those mean things happen to you, but it's also where you grow. Okay. It's one thing to be up on that mountaintop, but you got to go back down to that valley.
I have been brought back down to that valley. And I think you've been here to witness a few of them.
Oh, yes.
And I think with you being there, I didn't stay there long. I think without really being spiritually connected, I think I would have fought that battle differently.
Yes.
But now being those 8 years of my spiritual connection and my 8 years of rededicating my life back to Christ and not wavering from it, and then to staying in His will and doing His will is just, I think it keeps me grounded as an entrepreneur. A lot of times people keep coming to me talking about, how do you get it all done?
Yes.
And you've been there times. People are like, how do you get it all done? Because if it's my purpose, and it's embedded in me spiritually and mentally and physically, there's no way I can lose.
Right.
There's no way I can lose. And I'm feeling that. I'm in the best shape of my life.
Yes.
I don't, this is the mental health piece. I don't sleep well.
Right.
Because my mind is churning. Like, what next can I do to stay focused? And my prayer life is very strong.
Yes. And always remember, give God the glory.
All the time.
And ask Him, which way would you have me to go? But sometimes we get caught up in our accomplishments and we forget.
I've been there.
You got to remember, He'll have something that say, wait a minute, daughter.
I've been there.
And He'll bring you back, get your attention. And something will happen. But you always got to remember. And we forget. We get there. So, but God understands too. And it does not negate the love that He has for you. And He's put you there for a purpose. As you are walking in your purpose, helping other entrepreneurs, men and women.
I am doing men and women.
And we're open to all races, not just us.
Not just us. Okay? I am the answer.
Yes.
I've learned that I am the answer. God was the creator, but I am the answer. And I think that's noble, because I want to be the answer to any entrepreneur that's out here that's trying to figure out how to get it right. But my first thing was I had to share, and this is more of a sharing episode.
Yes.
Okay. I had to share because I'm getting so many messages. How'd you get started? How are you staying in it? How did you survive it? Through Christ.
Yes.
Through Christ. And knowing physically for the 8 years, knowing and being forgiven and being chosen and set apart now.
Yes.
Again, I'm still human.
Yeah. And you're still learning.
And I'm still
understand
learning.
this is a lifetime journey.
Yeah.
And just like you said, daughter, you're the answer. But always remember, the greatest gift is the answerer.
That is amazing. Okay, that's a nugget.
Okay.
Remember what she said. That's a nugget. The answerer is the greatest.
Yes.
I feel like, my purpose is to lead as many souls to him.
Oh, yes,
and as you see, working here at the Business Suites of Brass Mill,
it's a good venue.
Tons and tons and tons and tons of people come and they flock here.
Yes.
So we need to know, and we need to maintain, and we need to make sure that people are understanding that the purpose here for entrepreneurs is first to know that you were created with a purpose.
Yes.
And that's one of the greatest things that we share in common.
Yeah. And one of the things that I like when I first came here, it is a difference when you walk through that door.
Yes.
Okay. As opposed to when you walk through other businesses.
Yes.
There's a spirit. There's a friendliness. There's just a calmness.
It is.
That you just don't feel when you go on another other
and one of the things that was told to me by you when we first started and you walked into Brass Mill, you told me, you said there's something here. There's something here in this atmosphere.
Yes.
And that was good.
Yes.
Come on in, please.
Yes.
And that was good. That happened. Because when we walk with, I wanted to have a business where everyone felt comfortable.
Yes.
Okay. Everybody would feel comfortable. Everybody would feel welcome. We froze. Everybody would kind of have a great time. And that's something that we have done. We have done just that. We've built a balance of great things.
Yes.
And when we come here to Business Suites of Brass Mill, we totally act up.
But you know what? You set the tone just by those two words. We talked about the good morning.
Good morning. That's a good. Tone. That's the good.
Boss sets the tone.
The boss sets the tone.
Yes, she does.
And the tone is, for me, everyone that comes in that building. Well, I start early in the morning.
Yes.
Because I'm up at 4 o'clock in the morning sending out my good mornings. And that's a good thing. I think being spiritually connected helps me also with keeping the balance of what goes on and being the forefront of what goes on in the building just by saying good morning.
Regardless of how you're
I'm feeling.
In with that good morning.
I come in
and everyone feels good.
And it makes good. And it sets the precedence for everyone else to feel good, to know that you're loved.
Yes.
My cousin used to say, a pat on the back, job well done.
Yes.
Doesn't hurt.
That's right.
It doesn't hurt.
Right.
And I was taught, and I was taught saying good morning, good evening. I mean, I was taught yes, sir, no, ma'am. I was taught those things too.
Yes.
But those things don't cost.
Right.
They don't cost anything. And my staff can only be as well as I am.
Yes.
But even when I'm mentally drained, you guys don't know it.
Yes, that's true.
Even when you guys are mentally drained, you guys wouldn't even, and I'm mentally drained, you guys wouldn't even know I was that way.
But you carry yourself very well.
I thank you so much.
And that is my daughter. That's why I'm so proud of her.
I thank you so much, because again, I would not be able to do all these things. I may have tried to achieve them, but I'm doing them in a better light now.
Yes.
Now that I am fully committed and connected spiritually to what God wants from me.
Yes.
Spiritually connected to great people. One of the things I shared with you yesterday, that's OQP. For people who don't know what OQP means.
Yes, explain
So I want to explain what OQP means. OQP means that. Sorry, we have some technical difficulty here for a second. So OQP. O means only quality people.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Only quality people in your life.
Yes. Yes.
I'm not saying that the next door neighbor doesn't matter.
Right.
I'm not saying that.
Right.
But when you're functioning in the line of business that I function in,
Yes.
and as you see every day, we have a ton of people coming in and out. I try to only deal with quality people. It's another way to make yourself successful. It's another way to keep you out of the midst of what's going on over here, over there. You have the choice to pick your circle.
But see, the thing about this good that God has given you is the gift of discernment. See, everyone does not have that.
Everybody does not have the gift of discernment. And I can say this because you're my mother, you're my spiritual mother. Sometimes I don't make the right choices.
Well, I mean, sometimes, but then that's why on your team, you have people around you that can pick up on some things that you miss.
And let me tell you, it has been a doozy trying to find a team.
Yes. Yes.
People think that this business, running these businesses are easy.
Right.
They really think that it's very easy.
Right.
But technically, I'm telling you, behind the scenes, it's harder than what you think. So you need to get grounded.
Yes.
And you need to find yourself a spiritual mother, father, brother, sister, cousin, someone that can not nobody, not no girlfriend you can go gossip with.
Yeah.
Okay. Not no nosy
somebody
neighbor.
That's gonna tell you.
Somebody that's gonna tell you. Because I got told this week. I got told in my own office. Okay. I was having a conversation with my mama elder, and I said, Mama elder, I think I've done something. I think I might have been too hard on one of my clients. She said, yeah, daughter, you were. And I said, well, wait a minute. You. She was like, no. Now, she said, but I understood because you were trying to make sure that person was doing right by business.
Yes.
She said, but you handed it to him.
Yeah, you did. You did.
And you know what? And somebody reminded me. Matter of fact, it was your husband. It was so funny because yesterday morning I walked in and he said, you know, they tease you all the time at that college because they say you're not approachable. He said, maybe you should wear a shirt that says I'm approachable. I was like, oh no, because now I'm approached too much.
That's right.
I'm approached too much.
That's right.
But one of my clients told me that my delivery is hard.
Yes.
But within knowing your purpose and you see and you want so much for other people,
right?
You know what I mean?
Right.
And you want it for them, and you want it so much where you can even taste their success.
Right. And if they, have any type of sense, they will take that, even though it was hard, probably hard to handle, receive. When they sit and think about it, they realize it was for their own good. Just like when God disciplines us, it hurts.
It does hurt.
But after a while, we realize it's for our own good. And just like you talk about those people that were around you, remember, Jesus had picked the 12. But even with the 12, he had problems.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Remember?
Yes, he did. He had to get them straight.
One betrayed him, one deserted him. One denied him, and the rest, all of them deserted him.
Yes.
His team that he had grown to be his apostles, those to carry on when he left. But see, that's to say, you're going to have problems, but know who your head is. And that's who you go to, because he has experienced what you're going through.
Well, that's where your help comes from. So for all those entrepreneurs out there in the world that want to come outside, come on outside.
Yes,
it's safe.
Yes,
wear your mask.
Yes,
but get out here, get back into your church homes.
Yes,
get back into fellowshipping, because it's something about fellowshipping with the same like body of believers. That relationship.
He's relational.
That relationship.
Yes,
and you know what? Stop not wanting to get intimate with him.
Yes. You
really, and I had to learn that. Oh, well, I'm gonna do this little short prayer real quick, and that's gonna get me through the day. I became a soul lover of him.
Yes.
I yearned for him in the morning. I yearned for him in the evening. I yearned for him in the darkness. I yearned for him when I was awake. That's that intimate kind of love.
Yes.
You know how you liking somebody? You like, ooh.
You
better got your arms open all wide, and then you get that warm feeling when they walk in the room. That's how it should be.
Yes.
That's how it should be with Jesus, because he's gonna make sure your path has already been created.
It's created. All you gotta do is walk on.
All you gotta do is walk. Now I ain't gonna tell you that I've walked past and went down Dummy Boulevard, got slapped in stupid lane, and had to be rerouted. That darn GPS had to reroute you, had me sitting over in a cornfield and everything. So not to say that you don't have to re-jump these things and reconnect. Sometimes if you're at these church homes, sometimes you have to go rededicate your life. Let God know that you still feeling him. Let God know you still love him, because it is so hard being in this entrepreneur world to forget about who and how you made it. Just yesterday, I think I was telling you I got a phone call and they named me Professional Woman of the Year. And I was like, what? How that happened? And I didn't even realize all the work that I was doing, because it's not all about me.
And look who's watching you.
Absolutely.
Always be mindful. Somebody's watching you. And they're looking to learn from you. So you don't even have to say anything. They'll watch your walk. Okay.
And watching and that's why, I wanted 8 years ago, I wanted to rededicate my life, because I felt like, I was in church. I was in church.
You were in church, right? I understand.
Okay, did you catch that?
Yes.
I was in church every Sunday.
Yes.
I was part of the church.
Yes.
I was a lover of the church.
Yes.
But I was in full attendance with Jesus.
Right. Were you there spiritually, or were you there just physically?
I was there physically.
Yes.
I was there physically. I mean, that church is one of the churches I grew up in, so I kind of knew the way and stop knowing the order of the church.
Yes.
Stop knowing the order of the church, because I can tell you that program to and fro. I knew when to stand. I knew when to sit. I knew when to put my hand up. I knew when to go to the bathroom. I knew when to be quiet. I knew when to stand up and give God all the glory. I knew to when to move, how to move. But now it comes so freely, because it was always there. But when I rededicated my life, that's when all the real started happening. That's when the intimacy,
and the spirit started to flow.
And that's when the intimacy came for me. A lot of people don't like that intimacy word when they talk about God. What do you think that is?
I think they because they're associated with the spirit, with the flesh world.
With the flesh world?
Yeah, that's what it is. And so they probably don't think that the two connect, but you have to remember we're mind, body, and soul.
Say it, mind, body, and soul. What a good nugget. I'm trying to tell you. So in that purpose, I just wanted entrepreneurs to know that they if you haven't gotten spiritually connected, don't take that long too. Because as you're out here and you're growing and you're building but you're forgetting to give God what is owed to him. Because there's no way we're getting ready to rename the Business Suites of Brass Mill, the campus. And I know for a fact that I wouldn't be able to do half the things if it wasn't for the fact that God, he's the ruler. But I had to literally call him, say, I need you.
That's right.
I'm being selfish here. I'm being selfish. I know Dr. Coulter may need you. I know a couple other people over there but need you. But Lord, I need you right now because I need to talk to you. Hey, over here. Like I need to talk to you because I know for a fact that I wouldn't have made it this far.
Isn't he awesome?
He's amazing. He's amazing.
Yes,
I mean, come on. October the 6th, I had a massive heart attack. Came right back because he said, serve before me and I will keep you. And he kept me.
He did.
And he kept me.
That's where our help comes from.
That's where our help comes from.
From the Lord.
So it's just don't set out to be an entrepreneur. Set out to be a lover of the one that created you for your purpose.
And a lover of his people.
A lover of his people. And within that, don't forget to love on yourself.
And that's what the word said. Love him, love others as you love yourself.
As you love yourself.
That's right.
And that is key. Tonight we have threw out a lot of jewels to people. We're here. Dr. Coulter and I are actually on a path of connecting and doing some great things here at Brass Mill together. So I want y'all to stay tuned. We got a good business thing going on here. And we're going to bring some more of this spiritual intellect into your entrepreneur life. Because I'm telling you, without it, I'm not saying you're not going to make it. I'm not going to say that. But I just want to make sure that you know there's an easier road to being an entrepreneur when you are spiritually, mentally, and physically attached to
Yes,
who you're
connected.
connected
Yes.
to who you are. And
Yes.
the only way you can know who you are is by going through the creator who
Yes.
created you. So we are all wonderfully made and created
That's right.
in his image.
That's right.
So now you don't really need no more. You don't
That's right.
really need no more.
That's where your help comes from. That's who you look to.
That's who you look to.
He won't turn his back on you.
Absolutely.
He won't talk
Friends,
about
he won't
what
walk
you've
away.
done. Right.
He won't walk away.
He said, I will never leave you nor forsake you.
You know, he won't say, well, I remember what you did last night.
Right.
No, because he already knew that was there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, he knew it was going to happen.
He knew it was going to happen before you even
Yes.
took your Tootsie Rolled your tail around the corner. He already knew. He already knew. But understand that our God is a forgiving God.
Yes, he is.
He is such a forgiving God.
Yes,
He's a loving God.
Yes,
and without all those components.
Yes.
Now, if you're out there and you're an entrepreneur and you making it happen without that, we pray Godspeed upon you. Yes. But we just want to bring out some extra special things that can keep you in the mindset that you need to be. And when it gets heavy, being an entrepreneur is heavyweight.
Yes.
That's why a lot of businesses closed.
Right.
A lot of business closed. A lot of people walked away from a lot of things that they created.
Yes.
They didn't even patent things. Right. Now people come along, they're snatching it up after you did all your hard work. But I'm just saying, and this is Dr. Stacey Venerable, I'm just saying, do me a favor. Put your trust in him and see where you go.
Yes.
See where it leads you.
Yes.
And let me tell you something.
I dare you. I double dare you.
Double dare you. Because I've been a lot of, Mama, now you know I've been a lot of places.
Yes.
Been a lot of places, okay? But one place that I can find solace in is knowing and loving God.
That's right.
Knowing it and putting him first.
That's right. Put him first.
Put him first. And I'm going to leave it here. For all you entrepreneurs that are out there that are not tithing to your churches, that are not giving offering to your churches on your back of your business end, please start doing that.
Yes.
Please take all your tithes into the storehouse.
Yes.
Because I'm telling you, he will multiply.
He will multiply. He will bless you.
He will bless you beyond.
Yes.
When you look over there one day and say, I can't pay this. And then and it came out of nowhere. It didn't come out of nowhere. Right. So if you guys are out there and you getting that money and you having a great time with it, don't forget.
Yes.
Don't forget. Stop. And if you don't have a church home, we have plenty of good room at 116 Allison Street,
New Hope Baptist
Church. If you don't have a church home, but if you don't have a church home, still you can donate to any church.
Yes.
Donate to any church. I know for a fact, we go out to eat sometimes and we spend a couple $100. You know what I mean? But before I spent that Sunday morning, I spent it the best way I could by dropping some tithes and offering into my church, just to let them know that I appreciate and I love them. And I'm telling you, God says it.
Yes.
He says it. Yes. So if you're out there and again, you're looking for a church home, we would love to have you, but be connected with your purpose and be spiritually connected with your purpose. That was the first thing that got me started with this business.
Know your purpose, understand your purpose, and then get connected.
I love it. Yes. Say that again.
Know your purpose, understand your purpose, and get connected.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard that from Dr. Coulter. If you want to meet with her, she has office hours Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays. If you just want to come in and just have a conversation with her to see how your purpose fits in with your spiritual life, she has office hours. Like I said, she's there from 10 to 6. We harass her about what we need to know spiritually. And she doesn't mind. She gets a good laugh out of it. She doesn't mind. But again, stay tuned because we're going to be collaborating and doing some wonderful things. Dr. Coulter, it was a pleasure. My mama.
My daughter.
It was a pleasure having you on tonight. And I love you so much. And I thank God for sending you my way because sometimes us broken people need that. Being broken is not always a bad thing.
That's right.
Because when you break something and you sweep it back up into a dustpan, you get to create something else.
It's called being made whole.
It's being made whole.
That's right.
And I thank you for you being a part of my being made whole. I still got some work to do.
Yes, we all do.
I still got a lot of work to do. But you know what? I'm willing to do the work.
Yes, you are.
I'm willing to be the answer. So a lot of people can't say that.
That's right.
But I'm willing to be the answer. Tonight, we hope that you have stuck with us. even through a few little technical difficulties, because the devil gets mad when you start praising him. The devil gets mad because he don't. When you praise God, he don't want that going on. Right. When one or two are gathered,
that's right. He's in the midst.
He's in the midst of it. So I thank you so much again, Mama, for being my beacon of hope, my light in the morning, my rest in the evening, my joy that wakes up in the morning. Amen. Those are all those things that you
I look forward to my little good morning.
Yes, and we give a good morning every morning.
And a good night too.
And a good night too. Yes. I've been slipping on the good nights because I'll be over there that study, and I'm supposed to be in the bed. I be like, if I text her back, she know I'm not in bed.
I know.
So again, tonight was more of being spiritually connected and how to be grounded in your spiritual connection, and why it's so important to be connected with your purpose, that it will push you to heights that you've never seen before. And for all those people that want to know how Dr. Stacey Venable is doing it right now, I'm telling you, I am spiritually connected. I am wonderfully made. I was created with my purpose, and now I'm just walking in it. So tonight we want to say farewell to you. We'll see you next Friday at 7 p.m. again with one of our great brand makers. So we're bringing on someone he's making his mark. Okay. He's making his mark in fashion.
I'm excited.
He's making his mark in motivational speaking. Yes. He's coming out with a new clothing line. So stay tuned, because we want to know what gave him his purpose. Yes. He's just now collaborated where he works with at-risk youth. So I want to know what made him grounded. I want to know what his purpose is. So next Friday, we will have Ghost the brand here, and he's going to tell us all about his new brand, his purpose, and how it was created for him. So thank you so much. Make sure you like, love, subscribe, and comment. We will definitely answer all of your comments. Go on our platform, give us some hearts, give us some love. Go to YouTube and subscribe. We want to be big, so make sure you do that for us. Thank you. Take care and good night. Dr. Coulter, you got anything you want to say before we can?
I enjoyed it. And to God be the glory.
To God be the glory for all.